saying that.
I'm out.
There's a chance for me to get another chip in there.
Oh, yeah.
Saying that.
Might want to stay away from terroristic threats.
There's a chance for me to get another chip in there.
Say you will burn.
I just heard burn. I was like, we're talking about buildings. It might be a little dangerous. I just heard burn. I was like, the FBI will kind of love you. The FBI will
Where's his son? He's over there, and up there.
No, he's just in the fetal position. He does that. It's fine.
Hello.
Talking into the microphone.
I'm talking into the mic. Am I coming through clear?
Like,
It's been a while since
Hello.
I
Ah,
just
good.
watched Gabriel Iglesias Dodger Stadium.
Coming through clear.
now it's actually like in my face.
1, 2, 5.
11:07, 362,
1, 2, 5.
1. 11:07, 88 miles per hour. Yes for the microphones being down, or yes for the microphones working?
Checking. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? If you can, give the lovely chat comment a thumbs up. Give us a heart. Whatever emote you want. It doesn't have to be a poop, though. I know we're shit.
Hey.
Hey now, speak for yourself.
I thought we were going for positivity, man.
I am.
All right.
I'm positive, all right?
Also,
So we have audio.
We have audio.
For some reason, it's not showing on Streamlabs that the audio is working.
Oh, is it like that last one for your guys' Call of Cthulhu? Or it wasn't showing, but it was down?
I need to bring up the stream and see if I can bring it up.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Probably a bad idea to do it.
Well, no, I was just talking about the audio thing, because I remember when I was watching, that was one of the...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, I'll go back to introducing what we're doing here.
back to the top.
That's right. So, Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen. That is the D&D campaign that we're playing. It's brand new,
Yes,
or it's the
playing.
newest one. It takes place in a world called Kryn. It takes place largely on a continent called Ansalon, in a land called Solamnia, and a lot of our adventure
I'm just hungry.
will take place in this area. What are the key aspects of Kryn? The biggest one probably is that the gods have not manifested themselves in any meaningful way for over 300 years. Dragons, just as an example of a common thread for all D&D campaigns, dragons haven't been seen for hundreds of years on Kryn. So that's the basics of the world that we're in. We have 6 players. One of them isn't able to be here tonight, but we do have 5 of our characters here. So just briefly, for everybody that's watching at home, who are you? And what are they? The basics of what they see when they see your character. Start over there.
Yeah.
Well, I am playing a paladin, Hildorf, by the name of Kogan Usan, who just recently learned, I don't know if this is spoilers or not,
Nope, you can tell them we
but
did a
he
preview.
has recently regained his divine power after a vision with his god Rurix.
Reworks.
So that was interesting. I wasn't expecting to get that back so soon. Yeah, he's a pretty standard dwarf. Nice long brown hair. Everything's braided. And they got the whole beard thing going on. He wields a big old warhammer, and he carries around with him a shield and a few javelins.
Nice. Who do we have over here?
Do you want us to introduce ourselves?
Sure.
as Well, all right.
Sure.
I'm Lauren. I play Eliwick Waywocket, our monk gnome, forest gnome. She's about 3'6", has big old puff balls of lilac purple hair, and bright green eyes, kind of a tan olive skin, and for right now, some pretty basic travel clothes, with the exception that she has some very intricate embroidery along the edge of the inside of her cloak that are flowers and leaves. And she has a quarterstaff wrapped in a forest green ribbon for grip.
Yeah, like a tiny little Donatello.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
The mask. And
Digging it.
definitely not a turtle.
Definitely not a turtle.
Oh, and her Badger Martha.
Badger Martha. Oh, good.
Hello, Facebook.
We're out here playing
Delphi?
D&D, being nerds. All right, James, who are you?
Well, I am James. I will be here playing your lovely sorcerer human.
Lovely.
His name is Jet. He is an orphan, or was an orphan. He's grown up. He no longer lives
Really
there.
want to be like, oh, little.
Unfortunately,
Kind of an orphan.
he's kind of an orphan. He still is. He has no parents.
Sorry.
Anyway,
He has parents,
I
just
am, as I said, a sorcerer. I
has a
have jet
family
black
of
hair,
one.
amber eyes. I wear glasses to help me read a little bit. He might be a little nearsighted.
We're not sure. We weren't able to diagnose him, so they might be real.
Might be real. He also has stubbles where he looks like he might be trying to grow in his facial hair and all that. Also, he is very avid into the knowledge of ancient cultures, ancient languages, and that stuff. He loves researching.
Okay, Jess, who are you?
I'm Jess, and I play, her name is Jezebel Roquette. She is a kind of a bit of a special girl, not gonna lie. She's a druid. She has a burn, like more reddish, a burn brown hair, really long, goes about to her waist. She's a like 18, 19-year-old human with violet eyes. She lives with her Granny Roquette, who's pretty much the local, better way to put it, back alley herbalist.
Okay.
I mean, she doesn't charge what the other people do, but she loves to gamble, so that's kind of her jam. So that's who she lives with, because originally she came from a lesser noble family that they thought Jezebel was a little much, so they sent her to live with Grandma, because they're like, you're kind of embarrassing. Go over there. So she has an affinity that she loves to learn. She's socially awkward and very blunt. Doesn't really dress in like the current fashions like most of any other the lesser like nobles in general. She just goes for comfort because she's usually outside documenting anything and everything she's not familiar with. Loves animals, and just she's gonna be a weird one. It's gonna be great.
All right.
Hello, I'm Evan, and I'll be playing Blanche, a grizzled old Minotaur lady, retired sailor in her prime, and recently wondering if she can stay retired or if events might push her back into the path of violence and travel once more. Blanche is very tall, but she walks with a significant limp. One of her legs seems to be in a like a brace with bending parts. So she roams around town in her old sailor coat and helps out the more proper or professional town doctor, not Jezebel's granny, although they are friends. And yeah, Blanche does a bit of navigating, a bit of cartography, and has sort of wiggled her way, made friends, and established herself in the town of Vogler, which is where we are all from or
Evan,
frequent visitors to.
move the mic closer so everybody knows.
Yes, hello.
There we go.
I hope you caught enough of that,
Triple dog dare you.
but yes, that is
Nobody
Blanche.
goes back on it.
Okay.
I did forget to introduce my actual name. I am Ben.
Oh yeah, Ben.
I also forgot to mention that Jet is a lunar sorcerer.
So a lunar sorcerer is
He's
unique
a
to
loon?
it's unique to the
Not his personality.
to the
That's
to the
that
Dragonlance
can't make that call,
campaign. Kryn has 3 moons, and so magic users will sometimes draw their power from those moons. Okay, well, our group is on the way to a town called Vogler. All of them have either lived there for some period of time or been through it with some regularity. The reason that they're going to Vogler is because an adventurer that they all know, Ispin Greenshield, his funeral is the reason for their attendance. They all received a letter inviting them to attend the funeral, and so some are making a trip back. Others are regularly in Vogler, but were out of Vogler for a while. So, and on the return trip, they encountered an attack on what turned out to be some Solamnic knights. And the attackers were these reptilian, humanoid creatures that spoke in a language that none of them had ever heard before. And when they died, they turned to stone and turned some of us to stone upon their death as well.
They
So-
got better.
Very, very curious
Rude, Jet, rude.
occasion. And
Okay. I was just gonna say being
Blanche suffered the worst of it, and it was up to Kogan to provide assistance in that moment, and was able to call on the power of Reorx to heal Blanche, which
True
which nobody had ever seen anyone do before.
A very long time. Yeah.
No
myself
one
a
in
little
this party has ever seen that happen before. So apparently calling upon the power of the gods is something that at least one person can do. So
Special boy.
that's so where we pick up our story now is that so you guys are arriving in Vogler. So you all have maps of the city or town. Hopefully you had a chance to give those a little bit of a look to see what kinds of things the town has to offer. There are a handful of notable locations. But anyway, so I'm just going to read this little part here that welcomes us to Vogler. The fishing village of Vogler clings to a spit of land reaching into the Vingard River. Wooded cliffs overlook the community, and the only path from the north descends past the ivy-covered remnants of a crumbling stone keep. The village's modest wooden buildings cluster around a quaint central circle along the riverbank. Jutting into the river, out of place and seemingly out of time, stands an incomplete stone bridge of incredible artisanship. The structure clearly dates before the cataclysm, eclipsing its modern piers in size and sturdiness. The bridge crosses less than half the river's width before giving way to a series of ropes and tethered rafts serving as ferries. On the river itself, dozens of small boats drift along the slow, murky waters as the fishers of Vogler ply their trade. So, our group enters Vogler through the river gate on the north side of town, with the cliffs kind of hanging over the edge of it. And as they enter town, they'll pass right by the Thornwall Keep, and into a town that they've all been to before. Today is Ispin Greenshield's funeral. This evening it will occur. And tomorrow will be the beginning of the Kingfisher Festival, which celebrates a battle that occurred many years ago between Istarian forces and the Solamnic Knights. And the climax, so to speak, of the Kingfisher Festival, or the biggest event in it, and the most popular for everybody to attend is a reenactment of that battle done on High Hill. So that's just a thing that everybody looks forward to and can take some pride in when that occurs. Otherwise, there will be, celebrations and on a place called High Hill. It's a little bit north of town.
If you look at the map,
Where my
it'll
hopes
say
are.
there's a road that goes up the high hill, so it's just north and west of the town.
Yep.
Looks like it.
We probably passed by it on the way.
Yeah, you probably did. And with that in mind, you may have noticed that there is what appears to be a militia encamped out there. But for those of you who live in Vogler, you are aware that this militia is championed by a person who has lived in Vogler for a long time. So they're back specifically for this event.
Do we know if there's like a garrison of the knights within the town?
There is not. There is one. So anybody that lives in Vogler knows that there is one knight that lives in the city or in the town.
Lady Becklin, who invited us all to the funeral.
Yes, Lady Becklin invited you all to the funeral. I would say that any of you that have been around Vogler a lot, there's a decent chance that you've met her before, although she spends a lot more time in the keep than she does in town. She is kind of a history buff, and she is fascinated excavating elements of the broken down old keep. So she does that quite a bit.
Also, I think there's another one that was here, if I remember correctly, Lady Vela.
Oh, she's a person that is in town with some amount of frequency, but she's another Knight of Solamnia that's around. But she's not like a permanent resident the way Becklin is. I mean, this is technically an assignment for her, even though she's sort of retired. But so, looking at the map, you guys can decide if there are specific locations that you'd like to go to. You also know people in town, so you certainly can seek out anybody that you would like to seek out. I leave it to you guys to decide what you'd like to do. We'll call it 9 a.m.
I am so very curious on two spots on this map.
Okay.
The fishbowl and the brass crab.
So the brass crab is the location that the funeral will take place, but it's a single-story inn on the village wharf. It looks a little like a brass crab. Anybody again that's from town is going to know that there's an Ergothian woman named Yalme, Yalme. She's a human.
She runs the place.
She runs the brass crab. And she loves bad storytellers and inept musicians. Are you guys going to go in there? Or are you just curious about it?
Just curious about it.
Okay. And the fishbowl, you say?
Yeah.
So the fishbowl, this is the place that a lot of Vogler's fishers gather to tell their tales, quench their thirst, indulge in baked fish pies. One of the more common things that people eat. It's a little cramped, but it's well taken care of. The proprietor is an elderly human named Elthar. And most people don't call him that. They call him Uncle.
How do we spell his real name?
Elthar. So that's where you go to get food. The Brass Crab's where you go to gather. It's
What
also
was
the
the-
inn. Huh?
What was the name of the game?
Name of the inn?
Yeah.
The Brass Crab. What?
Uncle.
Hill? High Hill?
Elder?
Oh, the
L.
Elder? Oh, okay.
Thar. Uncle.
People call him Uncle.
He's the
A-R or E?
AR.
What'd you say?
He's the bartender.
Oh, he's just the proprietor of that place.
He owns it.
So he runs it.
So is Lady Becklin like sort of the head of the guard here?
No.
She is the guard here.
So the town, so the mayor, they do have a militia, but the majority of their militia is like, it's a little dicey. They're mostly like farmers and fishermen and stuff like that. They don't have like this full-time, well-trained sort of thing. Becklin and her squire are like,
That's the top of the.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Well, since the place she frequents is kind of on the way into town, perhaps we should head up there quick and
Unless she's
inform
making
them.
unless she's making preparations for the funeral, we might find her there.
True. It's still pretty early in the morning, though.
Oh,
Well,
Well,
at
if
the
you
very
if you
least,
have
we'll
if
go
you
up
have
and check.
interest in it, like,
Nature spell.
you know, as you're walking by, you know, if you show a little bit of curiosity in Thornwall Keep,
It's only like,
double check.
what, 90 feet up and around or so? It's
Yeah.
not that far off.
yeah,
We come
if
there.
you show some interest in it, you can see her like loading up a wagon, and
All right, so she's up there.
she's there.
All right. Well, I'll definitely be heading up there at the very least to notify her of what happened on the way here.
Okay.
And maybe find out what those creatures were.
Even if she can't call out the guards, the army or something, she can make preparations in case
And-
we need to.
Send messages to those who might need to know of this.
It is a lot, though, for one to have to deal with, along with them being in charge of the funeral, is it not?
Who else? are
Certain
we
things
supposed
Oh,
to-
take
no, I
precedence.
understand. I'm just saying this is going to be a lot on her plate. I'm not saying we don't do it. I'm just saying what's going to
That's a nice sentiment.
Thank you.
Perhaps we can help with the planning and the preparations.
So you guys
I'll
going in to talk to her?
Yeah. I'll head up.
Okay.
If anyone else wants to follow, go ahead.
So I'm going to run you through a little bit of Thornwall Keep before you talk to Becklin. So Thornwall Keep, it's the ruins of an ancient Salamnic keep, and it's perched on a rocky rise at the western edge of town. Becklin Uthvaharin is her name. She is the Castellan. She's the steward of the keep, so to speak. Partially ruined walls are around the keep's 3-story tower. The lower level of it has a library and a collection of local relics. The second floor has Becklin's squire, whose name is Darrett Highwater. Darrett Highwater. And then Becklin's room is on the top story.
Don't worry, chat. Next time we'll say these names and not explain what they mean.
Also living there is a tinker gnome by the name of Than, Than. And when you look at the roof of the keep, you can see this.
That's all. Thank you.
It's a contraption that looks a little bit like a catapult. It's called a gnome flinger.
Is that his
Can I
means
help
of
you?
transportation?
That's just what it's called, a gnome flinger.
Okay,
Fan is a gnome.
I know.
Yeah.
He just wants to go fast.
Rapid transportation.
He's
It's
a
the
speed
future.
runner.
It's a mode of rapid transportation.
Speed flinger.
Speed
Nobody
gnome.
gets to pick up the gnome.
Speed gnome.
Nobody gets to pick up the gnome. All right.
I
So,
just want to know how fast he can go.
Anyway,
Him, not me. Him.
okay. So
I said I want to know how fast he can go.
so as you
I wasn't
come
planning on
up,
putting you in there.
But now there's ideas.
as you come up, Becklin is like putting some things on a wagon, and you don't see the squire at the moment, but she's hard to miss. I mean, she is a Solamnic knight. She's dressed in full plate armor and a horned helmet. She's got the whole thing right now.
Is that pretty average for her to just walk around in full plate armor, or is this
No.
just for the funeral?
Like, she would probably wear something like this if she was going to go and be engaged in a battle or do some bandit hunting or whatever. But when she's just around town and stuff, like, not necessarily. So,
How rowdy a funeral is this going to be?
Well, either that or she knows something that's already going on.
That's true.
What we
so
encountered.
she recognizes Blanche.
Better to be prepared than to not be.
Yeah, and she has to do a little bit of a double take, but she recognizes Jet, and she looks and yeah.
ahoy, Lady Becklin. We've got some bad news, I'm afraid.
Well, don't start with
Well,
that.
What's the good
We
news?
have
What could
more
be-
stuff
what-
to put
what-
onto your plate.
what could be
We're
worse
here.
than the day that we have to say our final goodbyes to our friend?
I told you not to start with the bad news.
You
Winged-
give people the option
Winged
first.
lizard people.
Good to see you all, by the way, under such terrible
It
circumstances.
is a pleasure to see you once again.
Gives a little curtsy.
Ispin would have loved a day like today.
You are not wrong. He
And
really
I'm
would have.
pretty sure he would have loved to have taken care of those things that we saw outside of the town.
Well, that was a day travel away. We came across some trouble on the way down here.
And that was yesterday for us,
I will.
right?
Yeah, it was yesterday. It was
Yeah.
we were still a day's travel out.
Yeah.
I'll pull out like the paper we got off the knights that had died. The orders.
Yeah, she'll take it and she'll read and.
We found 3 knights dead on the road.
Okay. By whose hand?
Well,
That's a good
Winged
question.
lizard humanoid-looking things that, when they were killed, turn to stone, and if you're close enough, turn you to stone.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Good news.
I was
they
turned
survived.
into a lawn ornament for a short while after hammering in the chest of one of them. Have you heard of any such creatures before?
Well, that is.
They also had a symbol apparently on their pieces of armor, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Actually, keen mind, I do
Well,
remember correctly.
I'll pull out my sketch of it because I took a
Dragon
sketch of it.
The Dragon Queen, you say?
Roll credits. Sorry.
See you next week.
Yeah, I'll show her the emblem that I sketched in my notes.
Maybe we should actually start out with good news.
You sketched,
No,
you
now we
say?
can go-
Now
yeah, I
we're going
sketched
for
it
the
last
good
session.
news.
See you
So I'll
the
pull out
bad
the-
guys off Band-Aid.
Roll.
we
What's
have
your art
anything
skill?
that can make us
Performance, should we
special?
call it?
That'd be a oh yeah, if that's performance skill.
I don't know.
adept
Does
at
that
it,
sound? Does that sound good?
He's rolling a
Performance
performance
skill.
check for
I don't
how
know
well
if performance
but
is
does that
right.
use
It's
his
either that or
charisma?
just
Actually,
a. It's
see
either
if
that
you
or
can
just.
draw good.
Yeah.
Did you
I don't want
get
to call it a
good?
dex check because it is kind of
Dex.
a.
Does it have
You
all the
could-
beautiful detail? Or is it
could
like a
do
Can I
like
give
a
him
s-
advantage for having assisted with this, having been the one to like full on see it?
Sure.
I just want to know, is it like
Advantage.
beautiful detail
Get
and
advantage.
shade?
Well,
It's
that's
nat
fine.
20 anyways.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's not a stick figure.
Very
You know,
very
If I can
excellent and
stuff out of
detailed
stone,
drawing
I can do a drawing.
of the.
With my keen mind, I tell you, and you are doing a great job. Congratulations.
So yeah, Becklin looks at that and says, "Well, this is undoubtedly the symbol of the Dragon Queen, Takesis, and these reptile men."
That is
That's
pretty
about
much
right,
what they
yes.
were. Yes.
Winged reptile
Winged
humanoids.
humanoids.
They killed these knights, and you dispatched of them, correct?
We
Not all
dispatched
of
of
them.
two of
We
them.
did our best.
3 of them ran before the battle actually started.
Oh my!
We were not able to give chase.
I mean, the 2 we managed to take out incapacitated half our party here, so we were not
Well,
in
this
condition
is-
to give chase.
I appreciate very much that you've come to tell me about this. I'll converse with Darrett and perhaps he can be of assistance. But I think as long as you're in town, it makes sense to go and notify the mayor. She can help with the town's militia, perhaps, or maybe she'll talk to Cudgel about this. So when she says the name Cudgel, some of you are aware that is the leader of the militia that's outside of town. It's a dwarf. Her name is Ridimir Iron Smile, but she goes by Cudgel. And that's her militia that's out there.
What was the full name?
Ridimir Iron Smile, but she goes by Cudgel.
How does she spell cudgel?
Cudgel.
And I know not if this is related to what befell us, but this might sound a bit out there, I admit, but for weeks I've been having dreams, nightmares, premonitions, call them what you like, of battles, ill omens. And the night before that attack, I was visited by Riorix.
Praise be.
He spoke unto me, and when I awoke, I bore this sigil.
Wow.
And with you as my witness, gave unto me divine powers, it would seem. He can attest that I was able to revive him.
She.
Yes,
She,
Blanche,
sorry, she
Blanche
can
is the lady.
attest.
We are just cow liver.
Blanche, you received healing
least
by
you
the
know you
hand of.
I'm not sure how to describe the feeling. It was like being knit back together.
I've never felt such power flow through me. I have been an avid follower of him, but never before have I felt his presence like that.
I'm gonna see if she thinks you're lying. So, that
That's
is
about what we said.
unbelievable.
I know that I do not know if that means all the gods are returning back to these lands or not, but he seems to think that the world is in need of his divinity
Well,
once again.
if you've been granted the blessing of a god of such renown and power, that is what a tremendous boon for anybody that is in your company.
The timing of it uneases me and the ill omens before. I do not know if it's connected to these scaly creatures that assaulted.
Well, perhaps they walk the earth in the name of another god.
If one god is back, perhaps another is.
Well, that would be a tremendously ill omen if you saw them wearing this symbol of Takesis. that let us let us all hope that that is not the case. Okay.
A mixed blessing, then, is our message.
Well, I mean, I very much appreciate you telling me, and that is definitely something that we're going to have to take into consideration as we. I mean, we have seen no such thing here in Vogler. We have, and I certainly hope that we don't.
Well, they've been raiding the farms a day's walk west of here.
Yeah. So I mean, I see the orders here. This is, I mean, this is interesting. Maybe perhaps we will be asked to contribute as well, but I guess until such time, I think notifying the mayor to ready the militia if necessary, and we need to be thoughtful. I mean, with us having the festival, but we are fortunate to have Cudgel and her militia around, so that could only prove to be helpful.
Just thought it prudent to inform you of the happenings of the surrounding lands.
Indeed. Well, I need to continue attending to my preparations for Ispin's funeral. I assume that I will see all of you there.
Yes, if you need a bit of aid, just packing up here real quick, since we ate up a bit of your time here.
Darrett will help me get this completed. I would hate to deprive you of being able to see people that you haven't seen in a while, and you need some time to go and speak with the mayor as well, I think.
Where would we find the mayor at the moment?
The mayor's house.
Yeah, she is likely either at her house or at the Brass Crab, one or the other.
Well, then, we'll let you get back to it, and we'll inform the mayor.
Very well. We'll see you at this evening for sure.
Will do.
Okay.
I would be heading straight to the mayor's house then.
Yeah, well,
I
Head up
will
to the mayor's
keep
house.
traveling with you guys until we have gotten done with the mayor. Then I do have some of my own things in place.
I think with the mayor informed, we'll fulfill our duty of informing the town of the dangers.
Okay.
To the mayor.
So yeah. So which do you want to go to her house first, or do you want to?
She have like an office?
She doesn't have like an office per se. I mean, there's a lot of things that she could be doing. I mean, she could be helping to oversee preparations for the festival. She could be at home. She could be at the Brass Crab. So
I would say probably checking her abode first would be the best choice,
Whichever one is closer to the.
and then we can try the brass
Wall
crab
key.
after.
Yeah.
That would be the best one for the second.
Or we could split up. Since we're safe back in town, there'd be no harm in it.
If you guys have other things to attend to, I can carry the news out to the mayor.
I would prefer to keep going with you because I might get more information, maybe, luckily, about what is going on.
I'll appreciate the company then. Shall we?
I think I'll be off to the Brass Crab.
very well.
It's all the same.
We'll catch up with you there if we're unsuccessful.
Isabel, are you
So you're going
going
with
with us, or are you going with
mayor's
her?
house.
or are
One,
you
two,
going with
three.
Somewhere else.
If I go to the Brass Crab, I might run into Granny, and she's not, and I haven't grabbed her herbs, so I think I want to avoid that one. It can be. She'll
Okay.
be quite. Oh, how does she like say it? Unhappy. I'd say ornery downright, but
So you are going where?
with them.
Okay, so we have
Trying to avoid
Blanche
this.
is going to the Brass Crab, and the four of you are going to go to the mayor's house. Okay, very well.
Trying to avoid my grandmother.
So
She doesn't hang out with the mayor, so.
okay. So we will we'll start with Blanche. So you get like halfway to the Brass Crab, and you see the mayor on, on the street.
Finger gun to yo.
And so she sees you and hails you. Blanche,
Ahoy, Raven.
back in town, I see.
And a sad morning, but
Indeed. I'm not looking forward to having to say goodbye to Ispin, but it must be done. And I'm glad that we're able to do it on the eve of the festival. It'll be good to have that joy after tonight's proceeding.
I always did like to take on whichever role was available in the festival, play the hero or the villain with equal acting charms, shall we say.
Well, perhaps we can convince you to be part of the reenactment this year.
Oh no, I'm not brave enough for theater.
All you have to do is wave around a sword, not even a real one at that.
I did enough of that in my younger days, but
Well, perhaps I'll be able to convince you yet.
Lady Mayor, on that note of waving swords, my companions and I, we ran across a scene of some battle on the way into town. There seems to be strange reptilian creatures, and I'll kind of give the run through once more.
Okay.
They killed the knights. They have been raiding villages, and we should at least be on alert for them.
Oh, wow. Raven, by the way, she's like in her 30s. She's generally pretty empathetic toward people and is well liked in the community, and is well known to, be very caring toward anybody that's having a hard time. So, anyway, well, that is dire news. Hopefully, that is well. I would like to believe that it isn't much worse than it seems, but they put Knights of Solamnia on the job. Well, I mean, Becklin, we're very fortunate with Becklin. Some nights you know, they're not popular. People don't, but they were killed, you say.
And in my experience with the symbols they were wearing, folk don't put on a sign unless they mean business, unless they're serious. This is no raid or haphazard
this is
monster.
true. This is true. Wow. Well, I take you at your word, and I think it would not be much trouble for me to alert our townsfolk that also serve as part of our militia. Sure, I think we can have them be at least aware to be on the lookout. What did you? Reptile people with wings?
With wings, aye.
Good grief. Well,
Sure.
I appreciate it. And I will speak with Cudgel to just make sure that we're lucky that they're around. Maybe they can help us if need be.
Well, I've taken enough of your time, Mayor. I'll be off now. Have to tell my companions they won't be finding you at your house.
Oh, they're on the way to the house. I see. Okay, well, very well. Okay. So, Right. So on the
Are we walking like in a cute little line like quails?
on the way to the mayor's house, on the way to the mayor's house, you guys, you run into Granny Raquette.
You tried to avoid her, and here she is.
We shouldn't have said it
Now you know
aloud.
why she's not at home.
This is why you don't.
I lift my book up in front of my face. Like my notebook and
Yeah.
wait, do I see her first or does she see me first?
She sees you first.
Okay, so I have no idea. That's bad.
I'm gonna cast
As a
minor
notebook.
illusion and have her face just appear on the spine covers of her book, so that it's just her face on both sides.
I'm going to cast minor illusion to show a sign saying "Right here, Granny."
I like to imagine you're looking in the book for some other reason, and then you put it down.
Oh.
She's like,
Yeah.
Jezebel, back in town. Lovely to see you, dear.
I chirp a little bit while walking.
Oh, well, are you all right?
Grandmother.
Yes.
Lovely to see you.
Oh, what a pleasant surprise. Well, I shouldn't say that I'm that surprised. I'm sure that you're here for Ispin and maybe to participate in the festival. Will you be stopping by?
Of course, grandmother. I wouldn't miss the hospitality. And yes, of course. I mean, for the festival and for dear Ibsen. I mean, yes. How are you, grandmother?
I'm
very visibly nervous. It's like,
I'm
like, oh God, I'm gonna get like a bad dog. Like, oh God.
well,
My
I'm
cockiness is gone.
I'm saddened that tonight we have to say goodbye to Ispin, but I'm excited for the festival. I always enjoy the festival. So many more people to see and to try my wares. It's that part is definitely a blessing. Oh, will you be in the reenactment this year? Oh, please say yes. Are
Come
you
on.
going to be in it?
Part of the
Yes,
reason-
of course.
Oh, it does.
Jet
what
and
a
I would.
delight.
Jet and I. She grabs his arm. Would love. We're
you
looking
grabbed
forward to
nothing.
this.
What you thought was me is a minor illusion. I am not there.
I still point.
Well,
You know, Jet, it's like how the orphan and the children's love looking up to dear older brother Jet.
I
That'd
hope
be a
you-
great idea.
I hope
we'll do
you'll-
it together.
I hope you'll be
Mr.
on the
Granny.
side of the. I hope you'll be on the side of the Salamniks this time.
You didn't like it when I was on the other?
No, the
That's right.
Istarians always lose, and I want to see you win, dear.
You
Well-
sound oh, you sound like mother. Yes, grandmother, of course.
Oh, well, I shall cheer for you, even though I know you're going to win. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, are you going to see anyone else in town?
Well, we were on our way to see the mayor, actually.
Oh, the mayor, I don't, well, yeah, go check. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I don't.
I
Just
know
so
she-
happy that you're here.
I was like, I know the mayor's not a fan of your wares, grandmother, so I wasn't.
Who's this little one?
Before she said this, she now has bunny ears and a tail. I'm Ellie.
Oh, yes, Ellie. Yes, I remember you. Such a troublemaker. No. That can't be you, right?
Big bunny ears. You might have me mixed up with somebody else.
Oh,
You
well.
just kind of. Her notebook
Or
opens up.
you might
and you
be
just
right
hear,
on the mark.
Try not to stare.
As I stare up at the ears.
Trying to be
Is there
subtle.
something wrong with my hair?
No,
Granny,
it's
you look
lovely.
absolutely
I
fantastic
love
this
what you've
morning.
done with your hair, grandmother.
Oh. Well,
I don't know if mother would approve, but she doesn't approve of much if it's not in the way.
I
some
caught a
people-
gust of wind earlier. I was very worried. Thank you.
I'm going to pull out my shield, and perhaps you'd like a look for yourself and just show her a
They're gone.
reflection.
She's kind of like, oh, well, thank you. Thank you all. Very nice. Who's this young man?
Well, I'm Kogan. I don't know if we've met too often. I work for the local hall, Stone Right Hall.
Oh, indeed. No, the stone rights, I mean, they, I have no use. Well, I shouldn't say that. They they made it.
There's not many of us, so understandable that.
I think
Not
that's who made the
gamblers.
delightful motif in front of the house.
Well, some of them are kind of.
I say don't talk.
Well, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I'm just so happy to see
proud
you.
of me, grandmother? I've made friends.
Well,
Wait, that's what we are.
Some good acquaintances at the very least.
you
proud of me.
bless all of your hearts so very much.
She is very proud of you.
And may yours be blessed as
Proud
well.
of us.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're doing an argument with me.
Careful, it might
Does anybody
work out.
have Does anybody have like a passive perception that's above, say, 12?
I have an 11.
13.
Okay. Yeah. She's like,
Is she high?
I mean, probably.
I'm a Susan
Jury's
signing you
still
guys up. Like, anybody want to play with the dice? No?
She's got a flower that's like in her jacket, and it's not decorative. Like, it's definitely one that if you nibble on it, it's
That's okay.
There may be a petal missing or two.
Yeah.
I'm loving this.
Yeah.
This is better than what I thought she was gonna be like.
all right. Well, carry on. I will see you all later at the funeral.
It is
might
a
work.
pleasure to see you, Granny.
I'm just relieved she's happy.
I'm going to pat her on the shoulder.
Don't you leave me
Sure.
hanging. I'll tell your little.
There's no gallows.
I'll tell your
Lay
orphan,
on hands
orphan brothers and sisters.
to remove
They'll be so excited, and then be
poison of the flower causing
you don't
the
want to
high,
disappoint your sibling.
just to see if that works.
Yes, I do it.
I mean,
Make Granny happy with me. You know you want to, Jet. And if nothing else, I mean, think of your orphan sibling.
so when you do this, I mean, are you speaking any?
It doesn't require, I think, any sort of. I just
I
one
will
hand
do
on
it.
the
Sure.
symbol, pat on the back, and divine
Think
energy
of how
flowing
excited they'll be.
Okay.
If
through.
we're
May the
winning.
gods watch over you.
Okay. So you
be a
so you do
hero.
that.
A bigger hero.
Let's see if anybody around notices.
I know, but children love festivals, Jet.
So you do this, and like there's a couple people walking in the area, and they kind of do this double take, like they maybe feel like they saw something unusual. And Granny, in the moment after that, she's like, this day is really not my favorite day. I feel bad that, oh dear.
No, it's all right. It's good to tuck these things out.
Yeah, I was very hungry a moment ago, and I feel much less so now.
That much of a dramatic change in her. Jezebel starts visibly getting a little worried from being like, oh, she's super gonna like kick my butt. To, wait, you're not hungry?
No.
I recognize the flower in your. I don't say that, but recognizing the flower in her grandmother's pocket and like, wait, are you feeling all right, grandmother?
Nah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I know just what will do the trick.
Takes petal off.
Well, hopefully the festivities will lift your spirits.
Indeed, indeed. Well, we'll see you later, dear, and all of you.
Pleasure meeting
Later,
you.
Granny.
Okay.
Goodbye, Granny.
So yeah, she detains you long enough that Blanche probably catches up with you.
Oi, I found the mayor. No need to. Oh, yeah. There you are.
Welcome back.
You all look so shocked and shaken.
It's been a long couple of
It almost feels like we are seeing a ghost. Oh, wait. As I turn and walk towards Jasper Jane's place because someone's already found the mayor. My job's done.
So you're going. So you're
Not a
gonna
very
go to.
social person.
So you're gonna go to Jasper's house.
Yep. Going
Anybody-
to the foster home.
Anybody else going with, or just?
I am because I need to go tell his orphan siblings he's going to be in a reenactment and be a hero.
I really wish I had a spell that says get lost.
Well, I'm
Like, I'd understand
gonna
that.
go visit the hall and
No, I mean like you just
Sign
went
up for the
around circles
reenactment.
Thinking you're going into
Sign up for the reenactment.
since we just got into town, I imagine haven't signed up since
Just gotta find
whole
one of the
trip out
random
and back.
Yeah.
You gotta be around doing.
I would
little
like to
things,
go
right?
visit Martha.
You're gonna go visit
At
your
my
badger.
Yes.
All right. Anybody else have anything?
I have badger snacks and drawings to show her.
Excellent.
That is all.
Out of character, I want to squeeze your badge.
So you two are going to the orphanage. Stone Rights,
My house.
Badger.
Badger.
I'll head home to wash up and get ready for the funeral.
Okay.
Not sure if there's a need to.
Okay.
So I do have a question for you. How close behind me are you?
I am pretty much close enough. I could be looped in your arm because even
There
then,
goes that thought.
I know where the orphanage is. I live here, so even if you lose me,
Okay.
your little siblings, quote unquote, are
So you
gonna
want to
know
visit Jasper?
Yes, I would
Okay.
love to visit Jasper.
They're
Sure.
gonna. I'm not doing this alone.
So you're coming up to the house, and there are two kids that are out in front of the house, and they're, it looks like they're preparing some like a banner that will undoubtedly go in the town's center. They're making decorations that are going to be used during the festival. So they're busy with that in the yard, and you walk up to the house, and and he has like a fairly good sized house, you know. I mean, this, as you know, like this is a place that has, you know, like it has 6 bedrooms, but it has 2 other rooms that he uses as bedrooms most of the time, and he has a big kitchen. So he's got a big common room and all that. So
It was a great environment to grow up in.
yeah, he took care of people. So you get to the steps, and Jasper comes walking out the front door. This is a dwarf that's up there in age. I mean, he's been around the block. He's made his we'll call it his fortune, not really, but he's made his living, and he's now able to use it to help take care of orphan children. So he's coming out, and it looks like he's got a basket with him of stuff that he's, it looks more things that he's probably going to take to have the kids work on for the festival.
You need help with that.
Oh my, Jet, welcome. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Do you want to help the kids, or do you just want to, what do you want to do?
I will help whoever needs help right now.
Those two over there need help.
I'll get right on that. Actually, a little later, I would like to talk to you about something. But for right now, I'll help with whatever needs helping with.
Oh, well. And he looks at you and says, do it. Oh, you're one of the Ricketts. Indeed. Indeed. Have you seen your grandmother lately?
Yes, I did.
She is having a delightful time all the time.
She's had a good harvest, what can I say? I didn't realize she was going to be so bold with her adornments with it.
Would you mind taking these? He like kind of holds the basket out to those kids over there and showing them how to put the banner together properly.
Well, yes, I'd love to. They'll be so excited about what Chet's going to do.
Very good.
I take the baskets and
All right,
Start to
so
greet the
he says,
children.
I have time now.
Thinking in my head how that is going to be a bad idea. Not because of what you're going to go and say, but because I don't think you know how to make a banner.
Probably not. But that's not the goal. The goal is I ain't doing that enactment alone.
So I am going to
So I agreed.
go ahead and
I have friends now.
be like,
You're going to go inside the house with him?
yep.
Sure. You can go sit in the common room if you want. What? Well, son, what can I do? What story do you have to tell?
My latest adventure that I went on. I found it. I found the tower. Or the spire.
You found the barb.
I did. I found the barb.
Big difference.
And
It's been past the moment. My brain forgot the word. I managed to pass the first test.
did you now?
Well, the first practice test, as they say.
Well, that's quite exciting. That was a goal of yours, was it not?
And now I also have a location to go to for my next one. But that will be later, of course, for today is a day of merriment and sorrow, unfortunately.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. And I know how much Ispin meant to so many people, and I know that you he meant a lot to you as well.
Yes, he did. He taught me much and showed me much.
Well, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're back. I'm glad that you will get to spend time with friends and
She's trying to force me to do the reenactments.
oh, that will be that you definitely should do the reenactment.
I should. I don't remember much mages being in this battle.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. They're gonna put a uniform on you, and you'll be able to play the part. It will be easy. And look,
Thinking the children don't need to see my scrawny ass going out there.
oh, there are all types. It's just a chance to take part in that historical tradition.
That is true. You know, I have actually another question for you. I don't know if you know anything about it or not. But do you know of the Dragon Queen? Like anything you know about that?
The Dragon Queen. You almost certainly know more about it than I do.
I thought maybe, in case if you knew something that I didn't.
Oh,
Because we apparently days out we ran into reptilian humanoids with wings that were bearing her symbol. That killed a few knights of
Killed knights.
Solamnia.
Are you gonna whisper it?
Solamnia.
Like real quiet. Like it's not a big deal.
Well, that's certainly frightening. I mean, there are all manner of strange beasts, but I've never heard of reptile men with wings.
I was going to say, I do know that the Dragon Queen and dragons have not been heard of or seen for at least 300 or more years.
My father used to talk of the existence of dragons, and I always thought he was a little. I don't know if I really believe that, but
I mean, there are recordings of them having existed.
yeah, but there's also recordings of like a 7-foot tall dwarf. Do you believe everything you hear?
No. But now I need to find me a book.
I'm not there.
That's awesome.
Tell me your history.
Was it very, very good to see you. I would like to continue with the.
But
The
yes.
kids are trying to help get this.
Send me in a location, I will help out.
Oh, absolutely. Why don't you go and help your friend
I think that's actually a pretty good idea. Because I have this feeling there's a fire out in their front lawn now. As I go outside, just make sure they're not burning the banner.
Let's see here.
Maybe we try to make it really
I
pretty
don't have
bows.
create water. I am the wrong class.
Actually,
How many knots
I
did they
didn't
tie it
actually
into?
pick that.
Okay.
I was
Let's.
gonna, but I was
What if-
rescue people.
What if we?
Why don't
put the
you roll
banner-
your performance to see how you do at telling these kids to build this banner?
okay. 15.
That's an all right banner.
Better than I thought. I'm super proud of myself.
I'm just proud that
Like,
there isn't a fire.
Yeah, like you.
I'm not a handy person. I take notes and I try to document everything.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
my grandmother would be so proud.
yeah. Like the
If she's
things,
not super- well,
like the
even
things you
when she's
told,
super high.
the things you told the kids to do, they only kind of listened, but it ended up working out. So, yeah.
Also, when I finally see Jet, because have you come outside yet?
Yeah, you saw me pop my head out because I was
Okay.
waiting for you guys to have a fire in the front lawn. You guys don't know that, but that's what I was.
Because once I wreck it, see you, it's like, oh look, it's a night of Solamnia, kids. Because I've already told them.
I was afraid of that.
So trying to get them hyped up, but like they may not care about
Oh,
my directions.
are you? Jet, one of the little ones is
So,
like, Jet, are you gonna be in the reenactment?
Why, yes, I am.
Oh, excellent. Are you? And you're gonna be on the good guys' side.
Yes, I am.
Oh, great. Well, I hope you live.
Jezebel starts clapping with that. It's like, I
But
do too.
I see that y'all did a great job with the banner.
All right, we're done with you guys.
You
Okay.
get time limit.
I'm happy.
You
I
get
got
to
what
see
I
your
need.
badger.
Yeah, see, you didn't get to go to the banner.
Yeah. And you got some
Worth
badger
it.
treats
I got some
I-
badger treats.
for Martha.
Oh, I could've
Jezebel
gotten out of
helped
this.
Drawings
set up a
to show
banner.
her of her
She's not doing an
in,
act
like,
by
the,
herself.
adventures that Ellie has just been on. She draws Martha the
And
badger
watching it without her
into
is like-
the scenes.
Digging it. Because she's not much
So
just like,
she
I
shows
don't
the
want to be in front of
badger.
people.
Sure.
The scenes.
But I'm not going to tell
So-
Granny no.
So you do that.
Not with
And
Granny's.
Do you go outside for any part of this, or you just?
I mean,
Grandma's sober
like
up
part of
for a
getting
little
there,
bit.
I will, you know,
Up
like,
until we leave, because I figured she had me,
kind
mother.
get ready, splash some water on my face,
Because I didn't
feed the badger.
harvest the other things
back out.
properly.
So
last time.
your
So, and I kind of
orphan friend Paul.
Okay.
You run into Paul,
Okay.
Badgers.
and he's how old now?
It's like 19,
Yeah,
18.
yeah. So he sees you. he's
The orphan.
like, oh, Ellie,
Holly!
so good to see you.
It's good
You
to
back
see
in
too.
town for the festival?
Sort of. And the other part.
Oh, that's right. Isman's funeral is today. Wow, I was so caught up in decorating and getting ready for the festival. I didn't. That is too bad.
It is.
Well, what are you gonna be? How long are you gonna be here?
That's a good question. I was off on work before. I assume I'll have to resume that shortly after, but I plan to stay for a little while for the festival,
Okay.
since I'm already here.
Well, I decided to help with decorating at the what is it called? Well, it's just the village circle. I'm helping decorate in the village circle, and I'm gonna get, and I talked to the mayor. I get to be in the reenactment.
Oh, for fun.
Well, I'm excited. This is gonna be my first time.
Yeah?
I don't know yet which side I'm going to be on. I'm really hoping I get to be on the good guy's side. I don't want to be on the Astarian side. I want to be on the good guy's side.
That's a rather mutual feeling among everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know,
Somebody's got to do it.
yeah, we want to be on the side of the people that win. You know, that's all. It's probably more fun, right?
I'd assume she'd pick it
Well,
up.
it's my favorite part of the festival.
The fact that grandmother's like, so let me sleep.
Well, I better get back to work.
All right.
Okay.
Have you been pickpocketing anyone lately?
Of course not. What? Why would you say that?
Show me your pockets.
Show me your pockets.
Empties them out. Inside out, there's nothing there. Lint falls out.
Make a persuasion check. You need a 12.
I need a 12.
Yeah.
All right. Whoa. What is persuasion?
It's charisma.
That's a 10.
Well, gotta go. Bye.
Paul Stamerick, come here.
He's scampering off. He's like, he's pretending to talk to somebody that's like 100 feet away from him.
I'm going to attempt to throw, are there rocks?
Yes.
Are there rocks?
Is your
Like
cobblestone?
Okay, like trip-worthy rocks. Like I need like this big.
Okay.
Is there a rock?
Sure.
Okay. I would like to attempt to chuck the rock after him in order to trip him.
Okay.
Break
Well-
this guy's kneecaps.
So you're
Leave it to it.
so you're trying to specifically trip him
Yeah.
with this rock.
Yeah.
You're just gonna throw
This
it.
is where you and me walk by.
Kind of.
So I guess what we'll do is we'll call this
Or
an
his
unarmed
Achilles
attack,
tendon,
and you're
like,
going to
thrown
use
into
your
a
dex
rage.
as the
Who attacked
attempt to
you?
throw this rock. Let's see how good you are at throwing this rock.
Okay. No, that was a 3.
Yeah. So you
Zip it
like
off, so amazing, too.
you
Just like, oh God, he runs
you
faster.
are very unhappy with Paul Stamerick for deciding to run away from you when you wanted to know if he was living a straightforward life. And you pick that rock up, and you try to throw it, and the thing just slips off your fingers, and now you're like, I cannot believe this. He just
Ellie's gonna stare at the rock on the ground, assumingly like between her feet.
So he gets like 50
I
or
gotta think
so
about
feet
it.
away from you, and he's like, "Sorry, Ellie, I love you. Bye." I'll see you later.
She just stands there, kind of looks up into the sky for a second. Bye, Paul. Love you too. Carries on.
Okay. All right. The stone, the sovereign stone writes.
Awesome. Suppose
I should have thrown the staff instead.
but your lungs would have impaled the kid.
Okay.
Sharp.
So you
Just a stick.
head there, and
It goes 3 feet away.
and
Still amazing.
you go in, and the only person there is Tarbin Crowgrave, who you know. Ah, Kogan.
Greetings.
Yes. Good to see you. You're back in town.
Yes.
Well, I imagine you're here. Maybe for 2 reasons, huh?
There are a few initially for the funeral and for the celebration, but the travels have brought me a third.
So he said he's like, oh, just just a minute. And he like, so you're kind of in the room where you enter, and he kind of walks to the back of the room, and he's like, Letha! He kind of yells, and she's like, what? and he's like, Kogan is here. And she's like, what, really? Well, let me get my apron off. So you can hear a little rustling, or you hear a little rustling around, and she comes out, and she's like, her hands are kind of dirty, and she's like kind of dusting them off. Oh, good, very good to see you again.
Yes, it's been quite the trip out to Morgoth, connecting with the other guild there.
Very, very good.
Guys, all prepared for the festival then?
Oh, indeed. We will have some unique pieces on display, like we always do. That's very exciting. And I get to be in the reenactment this year. My second time ever.
I still got to sign up. I just got back to town.
Oh, very good, very good. Tarbin's gonna watch this year, so I'm very excited that I get to be in it this time.
I'm gonna kind of grasp the symbol at my neck and stare back at. I assume there's gonna be some small shrine to Ryrix.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. It's not small.
No.
In fact, the whole workshop is the shrine.
What? No, so they have like a little.
The symbol might be a bit off compared to what I got, but
Yeah, but theirs is
there.
carved. You know, I mean, it's a pretty fine piece that's carved, and they have like a big painting on the wall that's intended to be representative of Reork striking his anvil, and like the world kind of coming into being off of his striking of the anvil. So it's a representation that's not all that uncommon among followers, but they have a pretty nice one. They're pretty excited about it.
This trip was different than a lot of the other ones before. Along the way, I picked up this. I'll show them the symbol.
Mm-hmm. So Tarbin goes, and he's kind of like, this is rather, there's something different about this, isn't there?
There is a bit of a tale to that. I had been on this trip for the last few weeks. I've been having dreams, nightmares, some sort of battle kept on replaying. And it got more vivid with each dream until, 2 nights ago. That was less of a dream and more of like a hallucination almost. I came upon a temple worn down. In it, statues to each of the gods. And I pulled this emblem off the one for Eric's. I heard his voice.
Really?
Now, really, I speak truth here. And when I awoke, this was still with me. And
You pulled an object out of a dream?
after Ryrix spoke to me, yes, it was still with me. And not just that, but let me double check to see if I can do this. That takes I guess can't really channel. I guess I'll just kind of grasp the symbol, and put my hand on him, and channel a little bit of that power, just to give the feeling of
Sure.
the divine.
So, I mean, like, as you do that, like, you know, you reach out your hand to touch him, and he kind of lets you do it, and then, you know, a moment goes by, and
You
he
feel
very
that.
wide-eyed looks up at you and says, "What are you doing? What is this?"
This power flowed through me but yesterday, and with it, I was able to heal one of our fellow travelers. We were attacked on the way back. I think perhaps the gods are returning.
Wha- I mean,
We were attacked by creatures bearing the symbol of the Dragon Queen. And not a night before was my, I guess, contact with our god. He asked me to be his herald. And now this power flows through me, and the symbols of the gods are now being worn with more intent than I have in a long time.
I mean, I believe what you're saying is true. That felt like the power of a god.
I know not what all he intends for me, or
Well, whatever
what?
he intends for you, I think you should listen.
he was vague with his message. A herald, and preparing for the things to come.
Who else knows of this?
I told of Lady Beckland on her way in. But other than those who traveled with me, and you all here, so far, those are the only ones who know for certain. I would encourage you to spread this to other guild members that you may see. I don't know if any of you have any travels out to any of the halls in the coming weeks or months, but and I know not if you have seen anything else like this. And from your reactions, I would say no.
Have you? Well, I mean, there will be moments of gathering over these next days. Do you intend to share it with the whole town?
I see no reason to keep it secret. The dangers, the ill omens that were shown to me, people need to be prepared. I'm not entirely sure how I should go about doing that, but I do believe it's something that should be done.
Well, we are. You may call upon us to vouch for you, to support you, to help you in whatever way we can.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more that you want to conversation you want to have with them specifically?
And just catching up on what had happened, making sure they did a good job on the tombstone for Isbin, yes.
Do any of you have any further things that you would like to do in Vogler specifically prior to the funeral for Isbin Greenshield?
Well, I just had a thought out of character, which was that we saw divine magic from Kogan, but we also saw it from Jezebel, and none of us commented at all on that. Like, druids haven't been able to do magic in 300 years either, right?
Yes, I think that would be accurate.
Yeah.
But
I forgot.
Maybe we assumed she was a sorcerer or something, and we're just like,
Yeah.
oh, that's okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I just assumed she's like, Granny told me to do this and it works.
Like
And it's like, oh, it's the drug
things like
suspected
rabbit ears or things like that
Because
are
it's something new.
the sorts of tricks
I don't know.
that wizards and sorcerers and bards and things like that can do. So you wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, what? I don't recall now. What trick did you do?
Ice knife.
Oh yeah, you did do that. That is probably more. You would probably view that as more arcane than you would, even though like if you would say, call on the earth somehow, that might not be a so commonly seen thing. But anyway, yeah, that's a good question and a good observation.
Is there room left in the duel or in the battle?
Oh,
Reenactment?
and the reenactment? Oh, they will. They are happy to take anybody that wants to
Gonna
sign up.
beeline to that.
Missed it last year. I'll get into it this year.
Okay.
Gonna beeline right for.
So,
I know your name.
the mayor is
And
like
you, didn't you?
kind of the key contributor to making sure that this
Just gives
is
you
set up.
suspicious
But
looks
when
like,
you go
there's no way
and
I
you
can tell
talk
you.
to, some assistant or whatever that's
But she's
helping
not
to
gonna
plan
respect
whoever the person is that's planning the reenactment, they tell you that anybody that signs up will be they'll be Solamnic reenactors because Cudgel has volunteered her militia to just that way. Then it's easy for them to all wear the same uniforms and represent the same side. And they were willing to do the Istarian side this time. So
Where can I get silver in this town?
silver.
Yes.
There's a couple different. I mean, what
I need
you just want some silver pieces? You want
silver,
like
the material. I
material
need,
silver?
Let me double check this to make sure I'm doing this right.
Oh yeah, get in it. Get in there.
Oh wait, no. Do I need?
Are these like
I
like
need
components for your
25
things?
gold pieces worth of silver.
Just
Powdered
for
silver. Yeah.
just for materials and things like that.
I have 25 gold pieces.
I do.
Yeah. So
Ritzy.
yeah,
I work for a living.
Yeah.
That's why I travel. That's part of my job.
so yeah, there's
Damn books don't make
there's
all
a
in stone carving, I'm telling you.
Gambling it away.
yeah, there is
Lives in
a
the barter system.
there's a dwarf in town that does some work with the stone rights, but he also like
Because
works with the general store and works with whoever. He's got a lot of different minerals and things like that. So you can
I'll
probably
get,
go
like,
and talk to him.
25 gold pieces worth of silver and
Steel pieces worth of silver.
steel pieces worth of silver.
Yeah.
And how far away is the funeral? Is it like at the
It's at the Brass Crab,
Brass Crab?
which is in town. It's kind of on the
Then
the Brass Crab is, what did I say? It's like right on the river, isn't it? Let me go check here.
It's down by the docks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's down by the docks. So yeah, and this dwarf that you can meet with, he's just got a little stall kind of in that wharf area. So sure, you can change
I'll
that.
get that, and with that, I'll probably go back to the shrine and pray, meditate on performing a funeral rite for.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to go sign up for this reenactment, I guess.
Are ya? Good. Good. What about you?
Oh yeah.
You're doing it?
I'm not
Well,
gonna
if I'm
disappoint
gonna bloody
Granny.
do it, and you're
Anybody
gonna do it.
else gonna participate in the reenactment
Not gonna disappoint Granny.
of their own free will?
Not by signing up, no.
I'll certainly be watching.
I participate in other ways.
Okay. Okay.
I can't believe the Knights of Istar all had bunny ears the whole time.
The accuracy.
That's going to be some coordination between a few mages.
actually-
Like, 20 years ago.
Okay. Everybody good? Okay. So we get to roundabout dusk, and there's a lot of people gathering at the Brass Crab. Becklin is there, Raven is there. You see, for those of you who know who she is, you see Cudgel Iron Smile is there. And some of you know that Cudgel and Becklin and Ispin have done some adventuring together in the past. Their ways have crossed more often over the last decade or so. And so these are two of his closer associates. Whether or not you guys would have seen them together that often you wouldn't necessarily have seen them together that often, but they are all there. And let me just do a little checking here. So Cudgel has two lieutenants that are part of her militia. One of them is this big half ogre named Dragonlance. And he's standing outside the Brass Crab with a handful of militia members, and they're climbing onto this cart that's got some food, some supplies that it looks like they're going to take back out to their encampment. And then the other lieutenant is a human named Jayev Veldruz. And he's talking to a couple of other mercenary members, and they kind of, as you guys are coming to the Brass Crab, like those mercenary members, it looks like he kind of finishes what he's saying to them, and they take off with Dragonlance and the other ones back to the camp, and Jayev looks like he's going to stay for the funeral. Or whatever. He's not leaving with the rest of them. So, okay. So you guys go inside and you see, pretty much, you see a lot of the people from around town that you know, and you can kind of give your, do your handshakes and your hugs and your pleasantries and all those kinds of things. And after a little while, everybody starts heading out to the back of the brass crab. And in the back, there is sort of a stage and, leading out to these docks. And as you come back out there, you see Becklin is standing up, or is like kind of next to, and is getting ready to climb up onto this stage. And there's this small boat there, and in that boat is the body of Ispin Greenshield,
As it should be.
and there's a shroud over him. So those who were closest to Ispin Greenshield gather on the dock overlooking the Vingard River. There's a musician playing a soft song as Becklin steps forward in her ornate Solamnic armor. She smiles gently at those assembled, and her voice carries clearly across the water. You all knew Ispin as a friend. There were none like him. Before he died, he told me this: there should be tales, not tears, for an old scoundrel like me. Make sure everyone knows my stories when I head off on the greatest adventure of them all. Becklin nods, and villagers carry the boat containing Ispin's body to the dock's edge. She and Cudgel lower it into the water. So let us do just that, Becklin says. And the tiny vessel drifts out onto the Vingard River. On the eve of the Kingfisher Festival, we celebrate you, Ispin. Good travels, friend, until we meet again.
Until we meet again.
And so with that, the boat, taking his body, heads off down the river. And after a few moments, it's out of sight. And there's a silence with the crowd that's there. And, I mean, there are a bunch of little boats, fishing boats out on the river. They're all kind of there gathered for this same thing. I mean, this is probably 2/3 at least of the town is here for this. After the moment of silence, Becklin invites everyone that's assembled into the Brass Crab for a reception and an opportunity to share stories about Ispin. So once you get in there, I mean, it's kind of crowded, but Yalmi, the proprietor of the Brass Crab, is bringing out, bread and cheese and making sure everybody's got a filled cup if they so choose. And as time goes on throughout, this first part, like, people are kind of filing in and out. The people that were closest to Ispin are kind of staying here, but like most of the village is coming through to just pay respects and say those and say their niceties and all that. And after a while, Becklin stands up, and again, she kind of commands a presence, especially in her full armor and everything. I think now would be a great time to share our stories, just like Ispin asked and hoped that we would. And I mean, you all know that he was a teller of tall tales. He loved sharing those things with everybody, and you've heard a lot of these stories before. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if most of you have heard his favorite tall tales. One of my favorite ones is, the the time that we got invited to Mount Nevermind. And whenever he would tell that story, he would always say that it was the person who invited us. He always said it was the tallest gnome he'd ever seen.
How
And,
tall was he?
well, by the time the story, the last time he told the story, that gnome's got to be 6 feet tall by now. Yeah, taller every time, I swear. But he told the story of the time that the high sub-senior artillerist of Mount Nevermind launched her pet weasel all the way from Mount Nevermind to Sancrist and hired him to go find it. Or at least figure out its trajectory. I mean, yeah. You guys know. You know stories like that. And so, you know, a couple other people chip in, and if anybody feels like they want to be part of the storytelling, you are more than welcome.
Well, I know this one's true because, well, I was there, but it was some years back, perhaps 9 or 10. He was out fighting the bandits, and he must have slain, well, he said it was 24, probably not quite so many, but he did his fair bit. He made the roads safer for that year. But what laid him low in the end was no bandit, no arrow or spear. It was a porcupine. And he comes in to Ollie B's house with his backside full of quills. And that was quite the day to be Espen Greenshield, I should tell you.
Hear, hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody kind of takes their drink. Who else? Another. People are excited to hear stories. Anybody else have a story they want to share about Espen Greenshield?
If no others will speak. This one's actually the first time I met him. My introduction to him, if you will. I was first trip out for the hall out to Elgoth. Got in trouble with the local guild there who were doing some masonry work without their approval. And had to make a quick retreat. And running through the city streets, this man out of nowhere, the guard hot on our heels, we turn a corner, and he yells that we run some other direction. No clue who this man was at the time. Misdirected the guards, gave us the time to get out of there. Didn't see him until we got out of the city on the way back home, on the way to Kendrill. Had to introduce him, had to find out who this man was. Not everybody who would just give the runaround to the guards like that for you. But he was like that, a helpful fellow. Didn't even know us, just.
So you get like right to the tail end of that story, and I've heard this one 1,000 times. You're telling it worse than he did. So you see this very finely dressed man. Some of you would recognize this as Baccarus the Younger.
Well, Baccarus, would you please regale us with the more entertaining version.
I came here for the ale. And I'm glad that I've got it as well. Maybe somebody else has a better one?
Actually, that's my favorite as well.
Oh, well, carry on with your story then, Miss.
Does he have his mustache fully grown back out again?
It doesn't look like he's trying to grow it anymore.
Minor illusion will make him look bald to everyone else around.
How long ago?
So, like, as he's doing this, like, you hear some other people in the crowd are kind of grumbling about him, you know.
He's one that I try to avoid.
Who's anyone else gonna tell stories about this guy? I haven't quite drank my fill yet.
Well, I would gladly like to tell a tale. For you see, while I've been growing up in this town, the best things were always the stories that were told by Espen when we were at the home. The tales were fantastic, mythical. But when I was starting to become of age, of being able to leave the home, he told me, it's like, you know, if you love all these stories and all of these things, like I know you do, because he always would see me reading a book. He looked at me, it's like, there's a place you should go see. There's a place.
You can read?
Surprisingly, yes.
Let the man finish his story. Drink your ale.
All right, continue on with this.
Now, he told me there's
Tale.
this place of which that I should see, that I should go to and travel to. He told me it's a place where I would never be able to read everything there, even if I stayed there every single day of my short human life. And I laughed. I'm like, nah, there could never be a place like that. Never. And he said, in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to head out and I'm going to head to this location. Come with me. Okay. I still don't believe what it is. So we left. And we traveled all the way to the great library of Palanthus. And sure enough, my jaw bloody freaking dropped to the ground to see all the books, all the knowledge, all the history that is there, and all the fantastic stories that are within. It is thanks to him that I know more now than what I knew back then. And I do miss him.
I miss him too. Here, here.
Yeah.
I don't really miss him, you idiots.
I also miss your mustache.
He takes a drink, and spits it on, and he's like, and he turns to the serving the barmaid that's serving you guys. Why did you put a snail in my drink? Fetch me another. Aren't there any more stories? Please. I have another drink coming. I would really like to enjoy it.
You seem to speak so much, and while you're waiting for your drink, now would be the opportune time.
Oh,
You
I'm here to
You
listen.
seem to have heard quite a few of his stories yourself. You
Oh,
seem to
yes.
mark yourself a judge of them. Well, surely you must have a good few ones yourself.
Roll persuasion.
You're doing a great deal of talking for someone who's here to listen.
What is persuade charisma? 20.
Yeah. You know what? This crowd is all I wanted to do is come and enjoy some drinks.
I'm waiting for him to get his Prestidigitation tends to kind of can change flavors.
So can a smile.
None of you all can take a joke. Enjoy the rest of your little gathering here. And he walks off. Doesn't leave the barmaid any money. He just leaves.
We certainly will enjoy it now.
So, some more story. Anybody else that wants to tell a story?
No, but he's going to walk out with an elephant tail.
Okay.
And he's going to smell like dung heap.
More people tell a few stories, and in the middle of, people kind of having their conversations and things like that, eventually, for those of you that have never met Cudgel, she comes and introduces herself to your table, and so if they're in, kind of talks about the fact that she's back in town with her militia. We specifically came so that we could be here, so that I could be here for this, and as long as we're here for the Kingfisher Festival, we'll help out with the reenactment, and then I think we'll plan to be on our way. But the mayor told me that you all perhaps ran across some danger.
Perhaps you should sit down for this.
I am going to. You know what?
So she says, well, I would like to hear about it, and I think we'll just wait for everybody to.
Perfect for my idea, actually.
So you guys enjoy a few more stories.
Why not just make the thing recreated? Why did I not think of this before?
Would somebody, anybody that would like to, can roll, unless somebody has passive perception higher than 15.
No.
So just everybody roll. You do?
I do have 15.
Okay, so you notice that there is this blue-skinned Sylvanesti elf that's there. You have not seen her before, but she's just kind of a little out of place in this town. Not that there aren't anybody that's out of place in the town, but you just haven't seen her before, and you're not really sure how she knows Ispin either.
Trying to be subtle, but so not subtle. Taking out notebook. Starting to trying to stare, but not stare. Completely just any conversation that we're having is just checks out because it's like, I've never seen that before. How do I actually say hi? I don't know how to do this.
So then I
I
said,
did roll a 24 just for funsies.
Sure, you see the same blue-skinned Sylvanesti elf kind of hanging out on the edge of things.
Something that points out to me, and I'm not seeing it. I rolled shit for my perception.
There's been cheers
Yeah, there's been other things to focus on, yeah.
and merriment. And Jezebel just went, bam! What's that? How do I say hi? I don't know how to do this.
What you looking at?
All the notes. I've never.
I'm going to be like, after we're I'm like watching you draw this.
Yeah,
I'm like,
try and draw.
and now I follow the eyes.
Oh, nothing. Just someone new. Looks
This is
at
a person
stares.
we've never seen in town.
I'm not a social person, but I can give it a try.
So now
Right.
you guys, so everybody has been alerted to her.
Does she
no-
look nice?
Yeah.
And this is someone we had not seen in town.
Hi!
There's a room full of people.
Yeah.
So you're,
Wave at her from across the room. From wherever we are, I'm just going to be like, hi!
I'm going to, no, I'm not going to do that. Okay,
she
you go.
just politely nods.
I'm going to take that as an invitation. I'm getting up.
Me too.
Okay.
I guess I will walk with them.
Just
if
bluntly,
they're
like,
walking, they
I've
see
never
more
met you
skipping
before.
than anything right now.
How do you know Ibsen?
Oh. Well,
And before she can go any further, like, I'm Jezebel Rockette.
hello, Jezebel. My name is.
Am I doing this right?
Doing fine. Don't worry.
My name is Lidara. I'm a performer, and I met Ispin during his travels, and I found him to be fascinating. And he was always very gracious to hear my performances.
A performer? What kind? Do tell, do tell.
Oh,
And it's like, you're absolutely lovely, so I can't imagine just what kind of skills you have. What do you do?
I'm a singer.
Word vomiting. Just all the words out.
I sing songs. Yeah, I'm a singer.
Is there a chair? Is she like sitting down? Is she standing?
She's just standing at the moment.
Cool. So I'm at her knees.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Without realizing it, just slowly going to be encroaching closer,
just-
like, because
I'll
she's just bluntly
I am going to
fascinating.
Stand
actually-
in between you and
Yeah,
her
I'm like,
so
I'm
that
gonna
you
grab
can
your
actually
shoulders.
How-
and
It's like, please, keep
How,
going.
how do all of you know Ispin?
various ways, but we all have connections through the town.
Just from the sheer excitement of, like, never seen anyone like before, she just starts kind of just keeps going, like, oh, Ibsen used to, like, travel with my Granny Rockette. Anytime she'd need to go to the mountains or further out to get special herbs for her practices and salves, they would travel together. They'd have the funniest stories of how he took on an owl bear, and grandmother said he really just tripped on a bobcat.
He so many entertaining tales coming from that man.
Well, if you've ever met Granny, she's quite the character, so I don't know which one to believe.
That does seem to be the theme, though.
Yeah, indeed. It's a somber day, to say the least. I'm in some ways saddened that I couldn't sing another song to him or share time with him again before he was gone.
Well, you could share one with us for his memory.
And to be honest,
Roll
he says
persuasion.
that he is not also listening. Can I get a P advantage?
21. So excited. Like, she's like a little kid. She's like, please, 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 please.
Actually trained in persuasion.
So
I mean, she's not like overly bad pushy, but she's just almost like from morose and just quiet to just like, like-
as you know, people have been like kind of standing up or going to tell their tales and there's kind of a pause where it seems like perhaps people have finished telling their stories and so Lidara removes her cloak, her traveling cloak, and walks up to the area where everybody has been telling their stories, and she proceeds to sing. And she sings in Sylvanesti Elvish.
One speaks Elven. Do they understand
Yeah.
the words?
Yeah. And so she's singing a song that is just like especially if you understand the words, but even just the tone of it, it's heartbreaking yet beautiful to listen to her sing. And she's the song is like clearly she's tying it to the life of somebody important. So it's kind of an amazing thing to witness. And so she finishes her song, and there's a lot of those that were kind of, it's such a change of pace from all of these like grand stories and everything, but nobody is disgusted. Nobody knows quite what to do. Nobody's like cheering or anything. They're all just kind of, wow.
Jezebel is.
Slow clap from the back of the room.
Yeah, so then people start to join in with you, and they
Full
cheer
on
for her.
crying, not like ugly crying where it's the hiccuping and the choking, but just like nonstop tears.
I
but
do have tears
she-
that fall
just-
down.
So she comes back and collects
And
her
just
traveling
not
cloak and
subtle.
puts it on and says, I'm glad that you encouraged me to do so here. I didn't know that I would necessarily be welcome to do it, but thank you very much." And good evening to all of you. I think I will.
And I will actually say that to her in Elvish, saying it was a beautiful song.
And she says, "Thank you in Elvish to you." And then I'm gonna retire for the evening, but I'm grateful that you
In a
encouraged me to do it.
Thank you so much. Still,
Tears, snot.
I had this
not
terrible thought
ugly
about
crying.
asking
There's no
her to be
snot,
in the
but there's
reenactment.
nonstop. Like if there was makeup involved, it's.
That would be ugly.
So,
No, the ugly crying means
Okay.
like the choking, the sobbing. You're like, oh god.
any
this
more
is super
stories that we
uncomfortable.
feel like we're gonna tell? No one wants to follow that.
That's what I meant by ugly crying.
You know, to be honest, if I was a bard in this game, I would have actually tried to play music behind it, kind of getting a. Yeah, I'm like, I have prestidigitation. I could try to do something like that, but I can't guarantee how good the thing is going to be. So I'm like,
So,
You just want to do a guitar solo.
so there's a little more time to visit with locals. You can catch up with friends. You can, share inside stories and things of that nature. And as people are getting ready, kind of filing out gradually, it's getting down to where there's only a few left. And Becklin comes to your table. I greatly appreciate all of you being here and being able to be a part of this. This was a fitting send-off for Ispin, I believe. If you won't mind, I'm going to retire for the evening as well. But I would very much like it if you all would join me at the keep tomorrow morning.
Of course.
shall be done.
Very well.
Have a lovely night, lady.
I'm going to look for Cudgel. Because Cudgel said she wanted to talk after all this.
Yeah, so Cudgel is there as Becklin is leaving. Cudgel kind of realizes that now there may be some time, so she kind of goes to the door and kind of motions for you guys to come outside so that you're not around the rest of the remaining people that are here. So, what more can you tell me?
I am going to be like, so I have an idea. I'm looking around, making sure there's no one's like dead looking. I'm going to use minor illusion to recreate the reptilian humanoids with wings. So it's like, there's a good look at what we
So your
fight.
own little hologram.
Like actual, to scale.
Oh, so we could see all full details.
Minor illusion.
So you're trying to do that without anyone seeing it?
Well, with just her, so I don't freak people out. It's like so that way Cudgel can see what we went up against.
I guess roll your stealth to see if you do it
Are
without
you
anyone
giving
seeing
her a warning
it.
or doing this, or are you just like,
Yeah,
yo?
I said I'm. This is
Are you
what
just throwing this in front
this
of her?
is what we went up against.
I just want to know. Okay.
There's still people in the
That's-
building with us?
Well, they went outside.
I just want to know. It's like you're like, hold on, and you throw this in front of her.
Great
Roll
illusion.
5 stealth.
About as
Sure, so
stealthy as a
you
choking cat.
create this image,
Ow.
Hairball. Loud.
and almost immediately,
You're gonna cause a panic.
Cudgel sees
Moving
this,
and everything. It's just there.
and then within a matter of seconds, is like, "What? Put that! Get rid of that now!"
We could have just told
Fireworks go through it as it disappears.
and she's kind of like looking around you a little bit, and there's this there's this little old couple that is like they are stopped and they're just like, what?
He's just practicing some parlor tricks. It's illusions.
It's for the reenactment.
There were no weird wing things in the battle, Sonny.
Green bats.
Oh, you're trying to tell an old timer what he knows of history.
No, I was.
He lives in this town. He's seen this.
My person had a direct thought of where he was going, and now he doesn't know anymore.
He just got derailed.
I'm trying to throw my minor illusion with like tiny green bats and fireworks in front of them to distract.
So
I don't think you're helping.
so the little old guy
I don't think
says,
you're helping.
All the mad scribbling reaction.
"Come on, June, don't stay here and watch these crazies. Have a lovely evening, folks."
Good evening.
Called worse.
Sorry about that, Jorgen.
They've seen you before.
Half-burnt mustaches. What?
Wait, do they see me there? Oh.
Pay
they're
them no
with that-
mind.
They hang out with that girl.
Perhaps we should stick to words to describe what happened.
Sometimes words just don't seem to do justice.
So
Be a
Becklin
little more discreet.
Saw the
tried,
image
I
for a
tried.
couple
Words aren't his
seconds, didn't
strong
probably
suit.
get like a full.
I thought I was being
I thought we were talking to Cudgel.
Oh, sorry, Cudgel. Yeah,
Just checking.
yeah.
who did we
That
talk to
was
now?
my mistake. Cudgel.
Holy
Yes,
crap,
Cudgel
did you
is
get the lady to
like
come back?
saw that for a couple seconds and was like,
Nah.
"What? So wait, that's what you saw?"
That's what killed Knights of Solemnia, and that we took 2 of.
There were 5 of them total that attacked the knights that were sent out to deal with some creature raiding the farms in the countryside.
I
Emphasis
could
on
create
the
the whole battlefield.
emblem, and I make the emblem
You would have killed those
larger
old people.
for her. So this
Straight up
Great
stroke.
She
reenactment
can
at
see
that
that.
point. It's like you reacted
They
back.
bared the sigil of the
Just
Dragon
changed a
Queen.
couple faces. Hey, look, we're in it.
This was about a day's travel to the west of here.
They've
3 of
been
them
attacking
did get away.
farms.
We killed 2.
Well, I mean, we will.
The accuracy anymore.
Goodness, we will be on the lookout.
If you do encounter them, something to take note of is when they die, they do emit some sort of gas, I guess, that will petrify you for a period of time.
It
And
was a
now I
cloud.
put like a small mini versions on my hand of 2 statues. It's like this is what happens after you kill them if you're too close.
I drove my hammer through the chest of one, and next thing I knew, I was a lawn
It was
ornament.
extremely accurate.
Very well detailed, too.
Something to keep
Mine
in
has 1
mind.
meters now.
Well, I appreciate
Well, that
that. We'll try to kill them from further away, I guess, if we encounter them. But my goodness, I certainly hope that they've been deterred, whatever they are.
I don't know about deterred. Slowed, maybe.
Well, there's still 3 of them for sure out there. And we're not sure if there's other groups. That's just what we encountered on the way back.
Well, I will alert my militia members, and we will be prepared, and we will support the town in any way that we possibly can.
May Rurix protect you.
Glad that I can help, and I'm glad that you were here to give us fair warning.
It's nighttime, right?
Yes,
What phase of the moon are we in?
you tell me.
Man, that was.
I'm gonna guess that's
Crescent new full.
Is that what the next cricks go stand for?
No, I was just.
There's 3 moons, by the way.
I know. Oh, I
get triple
personally
moon,
am
partial
a believer of
moons.
the red one, the Lunatari. But that's why I was curious. It's like, okay, if it's this kind of a moon, it's like which one of the moons are out, and if it's
You tell me.
The white
Which
one.
one you want it to be?
the one that runs the world, sir. I just run my belief. You
Control the moons for
Okay.
this one moment. Do with them what
It
you
shall
will.
be a red moon, a red full.
Full red moon. There you go.
Full red moon every day, all the time.
That's party time.
I win.
Red moon.
Neutrality for the win.
Okay.
One night at least of it.
Anything else that we want to do? Cudgel takes off, and JF meets up with her, and they head off in the direction of their camp. Anything else that we feel compelled to do this evening, or is our goal to retire for the evening and go meet Becklin in the morning?
Probably
For another drink.
be
I'm not
retiring.
usually much of a drinker, but I will join you.
Yeah, if you're drinking at the Brass Crab, then they're just taking care of people tonight for the funeral.
Yep, go back in.
Drink it for free. I don't drink a lot, but this is like one of the few times, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, look, it's all you can drink if you want. I'm like,
What
You
drink
gotta
for?
pay for it though.
Ellie's
think you
gonna
gotta
have
pay for it.
It comes in pints.
If you want something other than ale, you might have to buy it, but they're supplying ale to everybody.
I mean, that's fine. I can use precipitation to flavor my ale.
It comes in pints.
Did you know they come in barrels?
Oh, sweetie, I don't think you can handle that much. Bless your heart.
No, I can't drink that much at all. And I'm being like just flat out honest with you. I was like, well, I can't drink that much.
I think we see maybe a moment, like as Blanche is back in her room, she's like opening up an old sea traveler's trunk and getting out her chainmail and some wrapped up hand axes, and then down from the wall where it hasn't come down in 15 years, this long, deadly pike that she's going to start knowing exactly where it is from now on.
Blanche is getting ready for
About time.
getting ready for war.
she's getting ready for business. She's coming back.
The great medicine is to defeat your enemies before you need it.
Ill omens and troubled times ahead. One best prepare.
Which we need more information on those people. But I don't know where to look at. Well, I
I'll
do
spend
know
the rest of my
someplace I
night
can
in
go.
prayer to the shrine before I head to bed.
Very good.
Drank.
Snuggling my badger.
Snuggling your badger.
In the bar?
No, she lives in town and she's got a.
I
Martha
remember
gets
someone
cuddles.
saying we're going for a drink, and all of a sudden it's like
Yeah.
snuggling badger. I'm
Well,
like,
somebody else was talking about going to bed
Oh, I know.
already. So
I was just-
I'm not
assumed we were done.
drinking anymore.
Indeed. And for those of you that don't
my
live in
bedtime.
town, I mean, you're more than welcome to stay at the Brass Crab. They have rooms set aside for you guys specifically if you want them. So
I have to. I usually go on adventures a lot, so this is my home place. I just don't have a home yet.
The hall has a few cots for traveling members that show up every once in a while. It's
Sure.
not much, but it's fine for the night.
sure.
I'm just gonna stare up at the full red moon and,
Through the ceiling.
and
Titch,
just have
aren't ya?
some feelings. Have some feelings.
Of course, now it's going to be waning as we go ahead.
And for anybody that speaks with anybody else after this, like the general sentiment is, this was a somber evening for the town, but they're all just generally ready to be, take part in the festival, and everybody will have out their finest. The merchants will have out their finest wares. People will show off some of their finer goods. There will be, there will be other activities. There will be performers. There will be different things, and I mean, everybody looks forward to the reenactment. That's just what people like the most about it. So they're ready to transition to that from this. All right. We all good? Okay.
Let's rest
We
up.
will pick up here in our next session. Congratulations, everyone, for getting through the funeral of Ispin Greenshield.
Level 3.
Not yet.
Nice try. You gotta make it through the reenactment first.
Yeah, we have to survive the reenactment. Us three that are in it.
You need to survive the reenactment.
We need
They
to
told me I could
defeat
die.
Bakaris
Who told
the
you you could
Younger.
die?
Little kids that somehow
Thanks, one free tickle.
think they know
They did say
everything
that.
in
I
the world.
hope you live.
Chat's kind of janky with it updating.
No one has ever died in the reenactment. Let's just put it that way.
They've never
hope
done
not.
that.
Huh?
How do you know that?
Nobody's died yet.
Standards.
Just ask the mayor. Like, the mayor will tell you.
You're like, what do you mean?
There's
Dad?
a first
asked
for
the mayor.
everything.
Why are we trying to kill people in the reenactment?
The mayor
Supposed
has
to
a
be a
vested
happy
gonna-
occasion.
interest
I'm going to
in
be the one that
encouraging
gets
suicide.
in the reenactment.
Okay, now never say never.
That's why I said there's always a first for everything.
Exactly.
It's like goals, jet goals.
Goal is to get me murdered in a reenactment. Huh?
All right, who is
Thank
this?
you, Mark.
All right, yes. Who's in charge of turning
Who
on?
is this tickle person?
That's me.
All right.
Hey, good night, everybody.
Yes,
See you
thank
next
you.
week.
Buenos noches.
Thank you
I have
for
to go turn my
tuning in,
camera off.
being part of our little adventure. We'll pick up next week with meeting Becklin at Thornwall Keep and
Squirrel
Then
time.
kicking
the
off at
Harvest
Squirrel Channel.
Festival. Oh, the Kingfisher Festival.
I was
sorry.
going to say.
It's a harvest festival.
It's kind of both.
All the king. Bye-bye.
Bye.